this is Maheshwar Reddy. In this class, I am going to discuss about interfacing processor, memories and I/O devices, and also about communication interfaces and serial communication protocols. I will discuss about these two topics in this class. First, interfacing processor, memories and I/O devices. How we interface processor, memories and I/O devices. This is the topic here. See here, this is the processor and these are the memory elements we are having, RAM and ROM, and these are the I/O devices. Okay. See here, we are going to interface processor, memory and I/O devices with the help of buses. Bus is the main thing which interfaces processor, memory and I/O devices. See, different buses are there. We are having address bus, data bus and control bus. Generally, address bus carries the address, data bus carries the data, and control bus is one which controls both address bus and data bus. Here another memory bus is there, which is interface between these buses and the memory elements such as RAM and ROM. Here your memory elements RAM and ROM are interfaced to processor with the help of buses, address bus, data bus and control bus. With the help of address bus, we will specify the memory address to which the data has to be transferred. Then after, with the help of data bus, we will transfer data from peripherals or another memory element to the RAM or ROM. See here. Here input-output bus controller is there, which is used for controlling the operations related to I/O devices. Here I/O devices may be input device or output device. That means your I/O device may be either keypad or RFID reader, or it may be output device like motor or LCD display control, etc. These are interfaced with the help of the I/O bus. Input-output bus is there here, and between these address bus, data bus and control bus and I/O bus, there is a bus controller unit here. And for example, this also be interfaced by using PCI or USB. PCI means peripheral component interconnect. What is that? Peripheral. Peripheral means external devices. Component interconnect. With the help of this, you can connect your peripherals. Or you can use USB. You can also use USB. You are interfacing pen drives, no. Pen drives, mouse, all these are interfaced with the help of the USB, universal serial bus only. Like this, we can interface your I/O devices to the processor with the help of I/O bus and some bus controllers which are acting as an intermediate between the address bus, data bus, control bus and your I/O bus. And the interfacing can be done in two ways. You can interface these all things in two ways. You can interface using parallel port or you can interface using serial port. For I/O interfacing can be done with the help of parallel port interfacing or serial port interfacing. What do you mean by parallel interfacing and what do you mean by serial interfacing? Coming to parallel interfacing, in parallel interfacing, single line is connected to each pin of the peripheral. That means in parallel interfacing, all the bits are transmitted at a time. That is, you need more number of pins for interfacing peripheral components, that is IOs, input and output devices, in the parallel interfacing. But in serial interfacing, you need minimum number of wires. That is, you can transfer data with the help of 2, 3 or 4 wires only. In serial interfacing, single bit is transferred at a time. You are transferring bit by bit in the serial port interface. But in parallel port interfacing, you need more number of pins for interfacing. It requires more space, but it takes less amount of time. This one takes more amount of time for transferring data from one place to another place. See, this is how you interfacing your I/O device such as LCD display to the microcontroller unit. Here what we are doing, we are interfacing LCD display to the microcontroller unit, and the interfacing is parallel interface. See, here what you are doing, we are interfacing to the lines PB0 to PB7. Total, here 8 pins are required for interfacing LCD display here. This one is called as an parallel interfacing. In parallel interfacing, you use each and every line for transferring the data, because single bit is transferred with the help of single line here. And we can also see that this enable pin and register select and read or write pins are connected to the port pins here in order to control the operations of your LCD display. So that here also see, this is a touch display, this is a normal LCD display, and this is a touch screen display processor. Only the difference is that the touch screen contains A to D converter, analog to digital converter, which is used for sensing the touches and converting that sensed analog value into the digital value here. And here also you are connecting with the help of the parallel interface. See here, PB0 to PB7 and PA0 to PA7. You are utilizing all the port pins for interfacing LCD display here. And here the enable pin and register select and read or write pin. These pins are used for controlling purpose, controlling your LCD display. These are also connected to the port pins here. Here, in this way, with the help of some intermediate controller, that is port interface, you can interface your IO device to the processor. Just we are discussing how to interface IO device to the processor with the help of some intermediate interface, port interface. Next here I am going to discuss about communication interface and serial communication protocols. See here, serial communication interface and serial. What is the communication interface? Communication interface is required to interface an embedded system with the external world. If you want to interface embedded system with the external world, then you need a communication interface. That the need for communication interfaces are to communicate with the host system, PC or workstation. That is, in order to communicate with the personal computer or workstation, or host system may be laptop or your personal computer. The target system needs to communicate with the host system. So you need a communication interface. Or you want to interface an external peripheral to your host system or personal computer, then you need a communication interface. Next, to send or receive data to another embedded system. There is a need of transferring data from one system to another system. Then definitely you need a communication interface for transferring data from one system to another system. Next, to interact with another system for sharing data. This is also same thing. In order to interact with another system, in order to share the data, you are having data in your pen drive. You want to share that data with your computer. What you will do? You will connect to the USB. USB is a universal serial bus. That is a communication interface. Now in this way, you will interact with another system for sharing data. Next, to share the data with other embedded systems which are connected to a network. Or through internet you want to pass the data. What you will do? You will simply connect your mobile with the computer and you will share the hotspot or something so that you can transfer data from your computer to internet. So it is transferred to another system. In this way, you can also share data with other embedded systems which are connected to a network. Next, to connect to internet, as I said no, so that anyone can access the embedded system. And these are about why you need communication interfaces. Let us see different types of communication interfaces which are available, and these interfaces also provide different functionality and different transmission rates. Let us see how many types of communication interfaces are available for transferring data from one system to another system. C. I2C bus, Inter-Integrated Circuit Bus. This is a two-wire communication protocol. Here, two wires are used for communication, and this I2C bus is used for on-chip communication. For what it is used for? It is used for on-chip communication, on-the-board communication. Only two lines are required, SDA and SCL, serial data and serial clock. These are the two lines which are used for I2C bus communication. And this is used for short distance communication. On-the-board communications are performed with the help of the I2C bus. And this I2C bus is a half-duplex communication protocol. Which communication? Half-duplex communication protocol, because it uses only single line for data transmission. And this I2C bus is a synchronous communication protocol. Synchronous communication protocol means clock signal is required for transferring data from one system to another system. This is about I2C bus. Next, SPI bus. This SPI is a full duplex communication protocol, and this SPI uses 4 lines for communication. How many lines? This SPI uses 4 lines for communication. One is the MOSI, master out slave in line, MISO, master in slave out line, and serial clock line. As it is synchronous protocol, it uses serial clock for communication and another slave selection. You can connect multiple slaves in the SPI bus, so you need a slave selection line for selecting the slave. Next, UART, Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. This is a asynchronous communication protocol which is used for communicating one system to another system for longer distances. And this is also serial communication protocol. With the help of UART communication, you can transfer data for longer distances. As it is an asynchronous communication protocol, there is no need of clock signal to be transferred along with the data. And here, the data transmission is done by adding start bits and stop bits, so that the receiver can know the start of the data and the end of the data. This UART uses 2 lines for communication, transmit data and receive data lines. Transmit data and receive data. Next, CAN bus. CAN bus is mostly used in the automobile field. In automobiles, CAN, Control Area Network Protocol, is used. This is also a serial communication protocol in which there are several nodes which are interconnected to one another with the help of controller cards. Those are called as the CAN cards. The data is transmitted within this CAN controller boards. Next, coming to USB, Universal Serial Bus. This Universal Serial Bus is also serial communication protocol in order to transfer data for short distances. You know, USBs in your laptops, PCs, USBs are there. With the help of RS-223 cables, also USB cables, you will transfer data from your portable devices to your personal computer, or personal computer to portable devices. This USB also contains 4 wires for communication. Only 2 wires for communication, the 2 wires for power supply. Totally 4 wires are there in USB communication. 2 wires are used for power supply requirements, and another 2 wires are required for data communication. This USB is also half duplex communication protocol. Next, Ethernet. Ethernet is used for long distance communication, and this Ethernet communication is used for connecting your devices in local area network or wide area networks for internet connectivities. And data transmission speed is more compared to other protocols. Just IR communication, infrared communication. This is also short distance communication. Generally, in your TV remotes, you can see IR sensors and also AC remotes. These are all works on the IR communication. This is also short distance communication, infrared communication. And this infrared Bluetooth is also short distance communication. We can communicate up to only 10 to 15 meters with the help of the Bluetooth. These are the short range communication protocol. And this infrared, Bluetooth, Zigbee are all these all protocols are wireless communication protocols, wireless interface modules. This Zigbee is also like Bluetooth only, but the Zigbee communication is up to 100 meters, but Bluetooth is up to only 10 to 15 meters. The long distance communication. And compared to Bluetooth, Bluetooth is only node to node communication. You can pair only with a single node in the Bluetooth communication. But coming to Zigbee communication, you can pair multiple nodes. You can connect multiple nodes in the Zigbee communication, and you can transfer data to any node that you require in this Zigbee communication protocol. Understand? These I2C, SPI, UART, CAN, USB, and Ethernet. These are all wired communication protocols. Wired communication. And infrared, Bluetooth, and Zigbee. These three are the wireless communication protocols. And these are all the different types of communication interfaces which we are using for transferring data from one system to another system. Thank you. Thank you for listening.